look at major purchases and ask themselves the question before they pull the trigger. Is this purchase moving me closer to my financial goals or further away from my financial goals? Yeah. And I'm talking my big goals. What do I want for me? What do I want for my children? What do I want for my legacy? And if you answer the question, it moves me further away, don't do it. Right. And it's a simple question. It's a little bit of discipline mixed in, but ask yourself that question before you get all excited and make that emotional purchase of do you need a new car or do you want a new car? Right. Mm-hmm. And do you actually need a new one or a new to you? I'm not a fan of brand new cars. But it's one of those things that, ask yourself that and really kind of putting things in perspective. It really helps people get their financial house running. So that's number 2. Number 3 is looking at precious metals. I'm a big fan of having, 5-10% of your assets in what I call precious metals, right? Platinum, gold, silver. I love silver because it's cheap, inexpensive. Let me put it that way. And it's something that they're still pulling out of the ground, and it's also being used. And like I said, most people can afford it. I mean, you can buy silver coins, stuff like that. And I'm talking the physical, have it in your hand, in your safe or whatever, not it's stored in some, I've got a certificate that says I have silver sitting in Delaware somewhere. Yeah. Good luck. I'm not saying they don't have it stored for you, but if you need it, something happens, financially, economically or whatever, you need that physical asset in hand, and it's not going to be easy to access when it's sitting in a vault in Delaware.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust that should the world come to, we hit
I know you're from Delaware, so I don't know if that's something, there's something about Delaware. No, I'm just kidding. We love you, Delaware. That was a joke. But you're right. It's one of those things that I want to see it. I want to have it. I want to touch it, right? Not, have a certificate, because that's kind of like fiat currency in a new sense. So, having some kind of precious metals. And silver right now is trading, I think at 20, 22 an ounce right now. I haven't looked recently. So you can go out. I don't care what you're doing. If you've got, the ability to go spend $20 on hanging out with the guys or whatever, go spend $20 and go pick up a silver coin and just, every paycheck. And the next thing you know, you'll have a nice little nest egg set aside on that. Now, I want to be clear. I don't look at, precious metals as a quote unquote investment. Again, this is all educational, right? I look at it as more of a hedge against inflation, a store of buying power. Okay. Rather than a true traditional investment. I don't think it's the price of those commodity or those precious metals going up or down. That's the dollar going up or down, and it's reflected in that silver or gold or whatever the case may be. But that's something. So number 3 is precious metals. Number 4 is looking at, okay, most people don't look at their 401ks or their IRAs or things like that. It's, we're told things like set it and forget it. And these are I don't want to call them out and out lies, but these are the BS statements you hear from traditional advisors. Yeah. It's long-term, set it and forget it. Don't look at it. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's my entire future. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Right. Number 2 is, if you lose, don't worry, you'll get the money back. It's all cyclical. Right. Okay. Well, by that logic, you lose a lot more value than the money. You lose the time in between when it went down and you got the time back, right? You look at the 2000, the early 2000s, that lost decade, 2000, 2012, I think it was. It's scary if you're not moving money around. And the other comment I've heard from advisors too, and I shake my head at, well, you only lose money when you sell your positions. Okay, well, by that logic, I only make money when I sell my positions when it's up too, and I don't see that happening a whole lot. So, it's again, not to knock traditional advisors, a lot of great ones out there, and you may have one, but you want to have that conversation. But looking at more commodities, because when people have financial stress, right, they start tightening the belt, so to speak. So they start doing without items. We saw that in 2008. What went through the roof? Well, the commodities, because people still need to eat. They still have all these things they buy. Home improvement stores, those went up because of the fact that people started doing their own stuff rather than hiring somebody. And if you're like me, you end up making, 4 trips to Lowe's or Home Depot on one project. Oh, I got to go get this. I got to go get this. So, looking at things like that, shifting things around, or better yet, something called protected asset classes, right? I know we talk to our clients a lot about these, and we help our clients with these. But looking at protected asset classes, there are actually ways to get, index returns or index growth. Market goes up, you get it. But when the market goes down, you don't gain anything, but you don't lose your money either. And those are the protected net because you've got a hedge, your assets are protected. And so those are things that looking at, how do you protect what you've got? Those are great ways to do it, or even continue to grow during those sketchy times, right? And I don't know what the future is going to, hold. I know, I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but you look at the indicators out there, just like if I go outside and there's not a cloud in the sky and the sun's up, it's probably going to be a good day to do yard work. If I go outside and it's dark and gloomy and the wind's blowing and things like that.
Like it is today.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's probably a storm going to happen. Yeah. I'm just saying, and that's the same thing economically. And so many people kind of, stick their head in the sand and just kind of, it'll all work out. I'm just going to, but you can't, you've only got so many, so much time working. You're only going to make so much money, right? So you've got to be intentional about every move you make. And when the storm's coming, you got to kind of batten down the hatches